Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the vwnut 1967 channel. What we're working on today is not my 64 bug. We are missing a bug. Don't worry, my 67 is never going anywhere. It's still here. It's just stored outside in the big green box for right now, which is just like an additional garage for us. Just so we had room for our next project. Our next project comes to us courtesy of my friend Dizzy. It is for my friend Bearfoot. Dizzy's link in the description. Great guy doing great things. I can't say enough great things about my friend Dizzy. He does a live show every Saturday at 4:30. Definitely go check out his live show if you want to be entertained. Him and my friend Hazy Days and the people that they bring on to those two live shows on Saturday and Sunday will definitely entertain you, for sure. So if you're not new to my channel, you know that one of the series we do here is exploring New Hampshire with my friend Bearfoot. My friend Bearfoot is I won't even tell his age, but he's not 50. But he is a staple in our community, and we've decided to build him a little something to help him get around town a little bit better. With the help of my friend Dizzy, we have acquired this mini bike that we are going to put some things on for him to make it more personalized for him. Here are all of the things that were acquired for the build of this bike. We have a couple of ammo cans. There's two of them there. We have a first aid kit or two. We have an extra pack. I'm not sure what we'll do with that. A couple of different lighting devices from a couple of different eras of military. We have a web belt. In the Marine Corps we called this our war belt. So we have our war belt. We have a canteen. There's already a canteen on the bike, so we'll add another one. This is a field protective mask, or for those of you not in the know, this is just a, we'll get it on tour and show you. This is just a gas mask. So we'll find a place to put the gas mask and how all this stuff is going to go on. We also have a rifle cleaning kit in case my friend Bearfoot wants to clean his rifle while he's riding around town on his mini bike. So a couple of things that we need to address with this. Let me turn you guys back over to the chopper. Spin the chopper. Let me close the door here on my cart. Spin the chopper around here. There we go. The first thing is Brian is a gorilla, in case you didn't already know. Occasionally I'm too strong for my own good, and somewhere here we have the pull start. I pulled the pull start out of this thing when trying to start it, so we are in the middle of restringing that right now. Also, it had sat since Dizzy's birthday party at the beginning of July. So the carburetor is leaking a little bit of fuel past the needle and seat, so we're going to pull the bowl off of it, pull the float out, pull the needle out. We may end up pulling the whole carburetor today. I'm not sure, but we're going to start with getting the starter pulled off, pull the bowl off of the carburetor, see what kind of gunk's in there, clean the needle and seat, and we'll get set up to do that right now. And then we will see if we can't get this thing to start. So as you can see, Brian the gorilla. So you guys set up where, I'll probably do it right here. You guys set up where we can see what's happening and get to fixing the pull start. Alright, so I have the pliers just wedged in there. Let me see if I can show you on the other side. See how it's coming through? Just holding tension on the spring so I didn't have to hold the starter at the same time as I was trying to feed the string here through this little hole up here. Okay, so as you see, let me make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. We threaded this right through there. Give her a tug like that. Set her down right there. We'll get our T-handle, feed her right through there. Go ahead, tie a fat knot right in the end of her. I'm not going to predict the future, but I'll bet you guys I end up replacing this cord before we're done with this build. I will bet you guys. But for right now, for testing these purposes, this should work just fine. All right, we'll set this back on there. Put the 3 bolts back in there that'll hold her in place. Make sure not to pinch any of the cables or wires that don't need to be pinched. Does that run inside or outside? That must run down inside there. And this is the spring that goes over. Alright, so I'm just going to grab a 10 millimeter real quick and we'll pull that off of there. Grab my little collection vessel cup wherever I put it. Alright, so I grabbed a 10 millimeter and I'll go ahead and start by pulling the bowl off of this carburetor. Oh, I see we could have drained it first. That's alright though. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of schmutz in there. You guys see the schmutz? So we will start by setting that to the side. Blowing that out with some carb cleaner. I'll pull the pin out of there and hopefully not drop the needle. And I'll see if we can't get the fuel to shut off. Alright, so right this very second I am holding the float up in the position to which it would stop the fuel. Let it down, fuel runs. Hold it up, fuel stops. Let it down, fuel runs. Hold it up, fuel stops. I think that's going to work out. Shut the fuel off. I think that's going to work out a-okay for us. We'll give her another couple little spritzes right up in there, and we'll see if we can't save ourselves the trouble of pulling the carb off of there. No guarantees. We may end up pulling the carb off of there anyway. Start with the easiest first and go from there. No terrible hurry on this project other than my friend Bearfoot really wants to drive it, so we'll make sure my friend Bearfoot can drive it. Alright, are your fingers crossed? We installed the float bowl. I turned on the fuel and we'll see if she doesn't start to leak by. Takes a little patience. I'll probably speed this up for you guys. So you'll hear me talking fast. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so I decided to take the carburetor apart. I didn't really take it all the way apart, but I took the parts that were having problems off. And we're just blowing them out and cleaning them up is all right now. Making sure we got good airflow through all of the spots we're supposed to have the flowage. We'll put the jet back in, and we'll put the needle and seat back in, and we'll get her put back together and put back on the bike, and see if she starts. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick shot of we had her most of the way apart here, just to clean her out. When it still ended up leaking a little bit of gas after the last clip where you guys seen it leaking, not leaking a little bit of gas after we took the bowl off and cleaned out underneath. Well, we got the carburetor taken off and cleaned. The fuel, I believe, is on right now, so it should have filled up the bowl. The choke is on. The ignition switch is on. We got to put back on a fresh plug in there. I did put a little bit of grease on the chain. So let's go ahead and give her a yank. Let's give her a yank and see what happens. The good news is it's not leaking fuel. It is a little monster. You gotta heat up the tire. You have to. Alright, so I quickly was wire wheeling those two spots because I'm going to hit them with the welder, because you can see this one is a little bit wiggly, and I can only imagine the same thing will happen to the other one. I don't feel like we're ever going to need to change them for Bearfoot. I took a good look at how they were assembled and decided that, yeah, it is totally going to be okay that I weld them together. 1,000,000% going to be okay. Probably so much better than okay that I go ahead and weld them together, because that is not okay. So, let me fire up the welder. I need to make me a nice clean spot to ground her. Might as well just go right. Alright, so that's before I grind them. Nobody said Brian was a welder, but you know. There's no more wiggle in the handlebars. That's what we're going after, so we'll grind them and move on from there. Alright, we grounded down this side. Perfect. This side's got one little hole in it still. Then I'm going to go ahead and fill real quick. So I turn you guys back on, we'll fill it right up. So here's where we're looking at the chain tensioner right here. There is something inside there that it's riding on. I don't know if it's just a bushing or whatever, but we're going to replace that with, hold on, I'll grab it. We're going to replace that with a skateboard wheel. Something that rolls. So I'm going to pull that bolt out and then we'll replace the bushing that's in there with the skateboard wheel and some bearings. And that will allow the tensioner to roll a whole lot easier. Alright, so here's what was in there for tensioning the chain. You can see that was going to continue to wear out. So we'll go ahead and fit this skateboard wheel up in there. Alright, so I'm going to loosen up the engine because I see that I have room to slide the engine back, which will leave me room to put the tensioner in. Careful. Bring you guys right back when we get. Alright, we got a whole bunch of grease on the chain there. Let's see if we go ahead and start it up and see how she does. I'll back you guys up a little bit and we'll see how she likes the new chain tensioner. Okay, let's sling some grease everywhere. I agree, that's a great idea, Brian. I know. Well, that's going to do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I will include a couple of clips here at the end of some of the upcoming accessory adding that we do to this thing. It runs great. Tensioner worked great. We'll also include a little bit of patina footage. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here, and we will see you guys in a couple of days.
What about me? Don't I get any love?
Go say hi to the mums. Go say hi to the mums. Where's the mums? Hi to the mums.